Hi, I'm with Caracal, a brand new company where it's a polymer framed handgun. I'm very excited about it, and I'm here with Salam, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about the history. Okay. Knock yourself out.
Thank you for being here.
Hey, our pleasure. Our pleasure.
The pleasure is mine.
Yes, tell me about it.
Caracal International is a manufacturer based in Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates, wholly owned by Tawazun Holding, strategic partner investment holding for the defense sector.
Okay.
Owned by the government of Abu Dhabi. The company started as a project started in 2003, in the beginning of it. So until 2006, there was we were in the development and getting the feedback from the user in the UAE with the armed forces.
Okay, sure.
And then in end of 2004, there was a request to go for international certification. So we did our analysis. So we selected a government in a test house in Germany.
Okay, okay.
It's been like this house since the World War II. So from 2004 until mid-2006. So we've been testing, doing the test again.
Getting all the bugs worked out. Sure,
yes.
Sure.
And finally we got the certificate. And we launched the company in 2007 in IDEX, International Defense Exhibition in Abu Dhabi. And since then, we have entered the European market in Italy in 2008, EXA, and then in 2009 in Paris, Milipol.
Okay.
And in Asia, in Thailand, Philippines.
And so now it's our turn.
And now, U.S. market.
Now it's our turn.
And we are excited to be here. And we are looking forward to the U.S. market.
Well, it sounds like you've worked out all the bugs, and it's not brand new. It's been around for a while, so
yes, since
right
2004.
On. Well, can we learn a little bit about the technical side of how the gun functions?
Great.
Yes.
Let me introduce you to Jeff Spradling, so he can take you through.
Right on, Jeff.
Hello, how are you?
Good. All right, Jeffrey, tell me about these guns.
All right, Ken. What we have here, this is the Caracal F. This is our full-size version of the Caracal polymer striker-fired pistol. It is a 9x19 9mm. There's also a 40 caliber, which will be available by the end of this year. A 45, which is currently going through the research and development process right now for the U.S. market. It is a truly ambidextrous striker-fired pistol. You'll note here the magazine release lever is on both the right and left side of the firearm. They operate truly independent of each other. They have individual release springs on the internals.
Okay.
You start the fight with your right hand, you finish with your left hand, nothing needs to change. They operate the same exact way. A couple key features to note of our Caracal pistol. One is the very high deep tang that you notice here on our frame.
Sure.
Next will be our slide. The slide itself is very low profile, rounded, dehorned, as we like to say, from the factory. Lightweight, low mass, very low center axis of recoil. The bore axis is very low, deep in the shooter's hand.
Good.
Allows for very, very low felt recoil. Very, very manageable. Proprietary designs within this weapon are many. One of which is the trigger. Our trigger is proprietary designs. Very, very little slack to press the trigger safety. Very little slack. From this point, our trigger press begins and ends 2.2 kilos, just about 5 pounds, right around 5 pounds. From start to end, it does not stack. There's no creep, no over travel. Trigger will break at 90 degrees to the firing pin.
Okay.
That's very important for those of us who really like to run triggers real fast and real clean. It also has a very, very strong reset. I'm struggling with this grip here, trying to maintain the camera view. The reset is very clean and crisp, audible, very quick, short reset. Another press will show us very clean trigger pull.
Very good.
Another thing that's proprietary to this pistol is the takedown procedure. This weapon is designed to be manipulated 100%, including takedown, with a firing grip. So I can maintain a firing grip. I will locate both takedown levers underneath the frame, one on the left, one on the right. They will not operate independent of each other. No matter how hard I pull, they don't move. However, with light pressure applied to both evenly at the same time, our slide is now released from the weapon. It can be very, very easily removed.
Yeah, we'll have somebody who wanders by pick that up. Don't worry, that happens all the time.
Luckily, it is a self-contained recoil spring.
Cool.
Everything on the internals of the weapon is modular. The weapon itself has all been designed with a modular component theme. You will notice the barrel, manufactured in Abu Dhabi, UAE. Standard rifling inside our barrel. Barrels come from the factory with a polished feed ramp and a polished chamber. That is standard from the factory. That is not an option. You'll notice now coming into the internals, some more proprietary design features. As you will note, this sight system does not have a rear sight notch. However, we have maintained a rear sight protrusion for reasons I can get into in a second. You will see that the rear sight, as well as the firing pin housing and entire mechanism, firing operating mechanism, is all one unit, one modular unit.
Okay, I like that.
Okay, that includes the block safety. There's a drop safety in the frame, as well as a firing pin safety. We have a very, very, very large extractor. These weapons were always designed for military and law enforcement use, and such have been overbuilt, for lack of a better term.
Hey, it's got to work or it's no good.
Absolutely.
And Pepsi cans don't shoot back, but you can enjoy it if the gun's broke.
For sure. We have been through and passed the MEP in Germany WTD 91 military standards, as well as the NATO 14 military standards with flying colors. There's been a lot of effort put into the, as I said, overbuilding of this weapon for redundant use. It is a very reliable weapon. Should any work need to be done on the internals of this weapon, whether it's inside the frame or inside the slide, it is modular. There are 3 press pins located on the slide, one here, here, and here. Simply to press these pins out, the entire unit is then removed from the slide. All internal work can then be done on the armorer's bench, as opposed to inside the slide.
Okay.
Very, very armorer friendly. Reassembly is very simple. Insert the barrel. Captured magazine recoil spring. Drops right back in like that.
Now, I noticed, just before we go on, it does have a flat wire spring, not
Yes.
a wire, but flat. Now, does that coil bind when it...
It does not. I will run the action for you here in a second.
No, I believe, just curious.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of our guys are the gunsmiths, so they're curious.
Absolutely, absolutely. Gunsmiths will love this weapon for this reason and many others. As I said, it's all been designed with a modular theme. That carries into the frame as well. We operate a steel slide on a steel slide rail system. You'll notice it's all steel. We don't run steel on composite. It's steel on steel. It is not molded into the frame at all. It is modular. These 2 press pins located on the frame here and here are pressed out. The takedown levers are then removed from the base of the frame.
Okay.
The entire unit, to include the trigger group, is then removed from the frame itself.
I love it.
All work then again done on the bench. Whatever repairs, deep cleaning, whatever needs to be done is then reinserted into the weapon. Press pins are reinstalled, and you're back together with your frame.
Yeah.
We have very long slide rails to add to the life and durability of the weapon, as well as decreased muzzle flare. The weapon is now back together and ready for action.
Show them these sights just before we forget.
Certainly.
When I saw those, as a matter of fact, I think I saw you when I originally came by.
Sure.
And I was looking and you're like, check these out. And I was like, wow, they come right on right now. They're fast.
This is a proprietary design for Caracal. Wilhelm Bubbitz is the father of this weapon, and he's a brilliant man for bringing this sight system to this pistol. I truly like this. It is a fixed front sight post with a rear sight notch machined into the slide in front of the ejection port. What that does is reduces the sight radius tremendously, allows for very, very quick target acquisition and extraordinarily fast follow-up shots. Now, while I did mention this weapon was always designed for military and law enforcement as a combat pistol, nothing is changing from what we give to those customers is what we're bringing to the American market.
Sure.
You'll notice that while we have removed the rear notch, we have left this protrusion with this nice negative angle. So those of you who do train or do understand the need to be able to operate a weapon with one hand, you can still have enough of a grip here, even without a rear sight altogether, to charge the weapon, to clear malfunctions, so on and so forth, with one hand, catching that on a belt, a pocket, holster, whatever the case may be. This weapon is truly ambidextrous and can be run single-handed, whether firing side, support side, right or left. And that is our Caracal F. We also have a Caracal C, which is our compact version. No difference between the F and the C with regards to the manipulation, design, modular construction. Everything on here operates exactly the same as the F. Our standard capacity for the F is 18 rounds plus 1 in the 9mm, 15 rounds plus 1 for the compact. Those are the two options we have. We have two other available sight options, fairly common, a straight 8 2-dot and a 3-dot, both with a fixed rear notch and fixed front sight post. That is the Caracal F and C, and they will be available to the U.S. market at the end of the first quarter of this year.
Very cool. I like everything I see.
Great.
I haven't seen anything I don't. I like the full rails, all metal, and I'm like you. If it don't work, it's worthless.
Absolutely.
It's a paperweight and it stays at home, and that don't do anybody any good.
Absolutely.
So over engineering, got no complaints there, and I like the full rails. No matter how hard you squeeze that polymer, the rails aren't bending.
Exactly.
You're not binding that slide.
Exactly.
I like that. I like it very much. Jeffrey, a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming by.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.